we also today in class went through and we started looking at a new outline that kind of helps us get our thoughts together. This is one of this great that I provided for you that I made copies of and I gave you guys today. If you remember, it looks very similar to this one right here. It has an intro, body paragraph 1, and body paragraph 2. I want to go back through this and review with you what we do in the introduction. Okay? Now, in our prompt for this story, we decided that it's asking us to write a paragraph explaining your view on whether the council made the right decision in voting down the garden. Use quotes and details from the story as evidence to support your position. Right? And so what I did, I chose to take the side of I disagreed with the city council. Now, and if you remember in class, I gave you 3 reasons, or actually 2 reasons, why I felt like the city council voted incorrectly. Now, you may disagree, and you may think that the city council did a fantastic job with that vote. Either way is fine with me. Just make sure that you have, you explain why you agree or disagree with the city council. Now, so I wrote those down in the introduction, and then we put a thesis statement in there which states why I feel the way that I do. Next, we move down to the next box, which is the body paragraph BP number 1, the body paragraph number 1. I'm going to rewrite my thesis here. I'm going to explain why I feel like the city council did not vote correctly. And then for I, it says that I need to come up with important evidence. So I can state I feel like they voted incorrectly, and then I can explain why. I need to say, for example, I feel like the homeless could benefit from having a garden to get their food from, okay, so they could eat from there. And I'm going to give D, which is D means detailed explanation. I'm going to explain why the homeless people would benefit from this garden, which is they could get their food from there. I is also there's another I there, and I could say the homeless would benefit from this garden because they could sell the produce and get money for it. If you remember, that's kind of one of the things that Jordan O'Rourke explained to the city council is that the homeless could sell their produce and get their food or get their money from that. I'm going to give a detailed example from the story that backs that up. But then I would also come up, I had another reason, I would come up with another reason of why the city council voted incorrectly or why I disagree with it. And then I'm going to give an example in detail. Now, E stands for ending. That means I've got to get my paragraph. Right? Next, that body paragraph number 2. And as we talked about today, the prompt is asking us to write 1 paragraph. But in the future, if you see, if you put BD2 or BD3, body paragraph 2 or body paragraph 3, then you know that means to write 2 more paragraphs. Okay? But for our example, it always says to write a paragraph, which is 1. So I would do all this for just 1 box. But if it asks for more paragraphs, then I simply write more paragraphs like we did here. Okay? Now, but at the end, in conclusion, I want to wrap this story up. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to write the end, or thank you for reading my story. That's not how we do it. To wrap up our story, we're going to go back and restate our thesis. We're going to say, for example, I feel like the city council voted incorrectly, and I'm going to restate why. I'll give it some more reasons as to why. Or go back and revisit those reasons why I felt like they voted incorrectly. And then that's how you wrap it up. You don't really want to ask, well, what do you think? This is the end of my story, or thank you for reading my story, or anything like that. You just want to wrap it up and restate what you wrote. Now, today in class, what we'll do is I'm going to give you 2 articles. These are fun articles about playing video games, and another one about how colleges are giving scholarships to people see me, or just feel free to watch the video over again. Thank you very much.
Okay, so what I want us to do, you've seen the video, you watched that last night, I replayed it for you today. What I want you to do is to go back and look at the packets that I've given you there on your desk. The first one is that I handed out to you is the outline, just like Mrs. Breedlove gave you yesterday, or on this yesterday, and I made copies. It's this. And I'm not going to go back through and revisit that with you because we have already done this lesson. You know how to do this. We've done this several times, okay? So this is the form that you will be completing and starting to complete today, okay? The second form that you have is the writing prompt. It says, in the 1980s, many researchers believed gaming to be bad for children. Video games were linked to increased risk of epileptic seizures, dangerously faster heart rates, and violence. Currently, however, researchers have found surprising advantages in gaming. Universities are now providing e-sports scholarships to gamers. What do you think? Are video games bad for children, or are there benefits in gaming? Write an essay explaining your view on whether video games are beneficial for young children and students. Use quotes and details from the articles. Game on. New study says video games can be good for you. And go team, video game players get athletic scholarship at one college. Okay? So what I want you to do right now, I'm going to give you about 5 minutes to pull apart the prompt. Here's your prompt. I want you to write, pull it apart on this paper. Does everyone have this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you may begin. Remember, if you get stuck on those steps, they're provided for you there on your desk. about 2 minutes left. About 20 seconds left. Okay, now what I want you to do, take just a second and kind of look over this with your partners and share with them what maybe was difficult for you. Explain what words you decided to mark out, why you feel those are not important, and explain to them what you feel the prompt is asking you to do.
So I felt that all that background information that they
Okay, one more minute. 20 seconds.
I
10.
wasn't sure on that because it has the ing, and when I said it to myself, it didn't sound right. Can you explaining?
Okay, time up. All right, share with us what you have learned from each other on this activity by talking together. Yes, ma'am. Audrey?
What we learned was some people said that we needed to underline, use quotes and details from the articles, and some people said that we didn't, and that's because I guess we were thinking in different point of views. If you were maybe younger and you hadn't had much experience with writing, then you might need to say that so you can know to use text evidence. But if you've had a lot of experience with writing, then you're going to know to use evidence.
Okay, so you're saying like a younger grade. Let me clarify that a little bit. So you're saying if you were in a younger grade, there's a chance that you might not know to use evidence and quotes. But hopefully by 5th grade, we know to do that by now. Yes, ma'am.
I agree with Audrey, and I'd like to add on because I crossed out what she said, use quotes and details, because that's not important because as 5th graders we should know that we should do that, and then every prompt it says to use quotes and details from the article, so we kind of already remember to do that, and it says the text in there, and we already know what the text are after we read it.
Okay. All right, Miss Lett, go ahead.
In our group, some people thought that you needed to include the first sentence and not mark it out, but we figured out that that was just background information that we didn't need to mark it out.
Okay. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Me, for 7.5, for me, I may have gotten a little too happy when I wrote it.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
Well, what I put was, your child's dream has came true.
Okay.
That's what I put for number 5.
All right. Anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
I agree with Kelsey, and I would like to add on. My group, one of us thought that this should stay, and then most of us thought that it should go because when you look at it, it's not telling you what you should do or what you need it for. It's just telling you what it did back then.
Okay. All right. Now, what I want you to do next is take out the form that Mrs. Breedlove gave us yesterday, the outline, and I want you to take a few minutes with that outline and write your introduction, okay? You don't need to discuss this with your group, just do this individually. Now, I want you to write your introductory statement and your thesis statement with that, okay? Okay, 15 or 10 seconds rather. Okay, stop. What would you like? Would anyone like to share with us about your introduction statement? Yes, sir, Mr. Morehouse.
I think the gaming can be fun, but it can also have violence. Most games are rated, but most people do not follow the restrictions.
Okay. All right, Logan, go ahead.
I said, most video games can be good. I believe that they give you more imagination and constructing skills, and if you're a responsible parent, you can make restrictions of games that they should not be allowed to play. That's different.
Okay, let's go ahead.
I believe that video games are good to back young children. I think this because some games are violent and this can cause young children to
Okay. Miracle.
So I think it should at least be older than 10 because a lot of violence occurs in some games. I also think that some people that play violent games could be violent in schools or other places.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
I said I believe that video games can be both bad and good for you. Too much time can hurt you, but they can build up imaginations.
Okay. Go ahead.
I think video games are always good with something bad for children, and I can see how, but now scientists have noticed that it can actually be good, and I agree with that because it can bring out your imagination.
Okay. So we've got, you can see we have differences in opinion on these. Some of you are saying that it can be good. Some of you are saying that it's not good for you. We have not read the article just yet. Okay. So now what I want you to do, you've gone through, we've done the pull apart the prompt, the look fors, we've done all 6 steps of that. And we began writing on our introduction statement. Now, what you can do, I know that this is a first time or a rough draft writing this, but now some of you, or all of us, we're going to read the articles, and you may change your mind on this if you read what the professionals have to say or what these 2 articles say, okay? Now, I want you to pay attention in your prompt. It says on there that in a few minutes you're going to be writing an essay explaining your view on whether video games are beneficial for for young children and students, okay? So I want you to take just a few minutes and read these 2 articles. Remember, like we do on the MIST test, when you come to a section that you feel is important, what should we be doing with that? Okay, you need to highlight it, underline it, whichever way you want to do. That way you'll know these are going to be some things that will help support your view that you wrote in your thesis statement, okay? So take about 10 minutes, and I want you to read on these 2 articles, and we'll come back together and continue.